Lisa and Jim, good afternoon. This is Dan Smallwood. I'm up here on the roof at 170 San Juan. Just wanted to take this video. I think it's easier when I take a video to let you see what I see while I'm up on the roof. We have this flat roof right here. It's not in as bad a shape as the sloped slash shingle roof, but you know, obviously when the time comes, you would want to replace both of them. You can always coat a flat roof. That's one way to do a repair. Here's your chimney. As you can see right here, this flashing, what happens over time is this metal expands and contracts with the weather, and it basically pulls these nails up through. So you see that right there. I don't know if that's leaking yet, but if it's not, it's gonna leak. And you can also see all the way up here where the shingles are buckled because this metal flashing, the nails are popped, and that's a nail right there, if you can see that. So if we were to redo your roof, we would obviously re-flash the chimney. It's not as bad on this side. And now here we get to the shingle part. Okay, this right here, this is the actual felt, the underlayment. I was inside, I didn't see any leaks. It's kind of hard to believe that it's not leaking, given that these shingles have been blown off and you have the exposed underlayment, which is a waterproof barrier. However, given that there's tears in this underlayment, I'm surprised it's not leaking. If it's not, probably the only reason it's not is because they've run this flat roof material. I can see it up under there, and it probably ends right here at this shingle course. If that wasn't the case, you'd probably have a pretty big leak right here along this, where the flat roof and the sloped roof tie in. And that's, we see a lot of leaks at that intersection. As you can see, as I kind of back off back here, there's a number of missing shingles on this roof. All on that side, over here by the chimney. Again, this whole area right here at the flat roof tie-in. Over on this side as well. And not as much on this end. So what you can imagine is during one of these storms, you know, that's facing pretty much due west or somewhere along that line. But the wind came through here and just peeled all these shingles off. There's some missing shingles throughout the roof. As you can see over there by the missing shingle there, one over there, but the major section of missing shingles again is on this back side. If this was a inspection for wind damage, this roof would definitely qualify to be replaced, because there's over 25% of the roof is damaged. By code, if over 25% of the roof is damaged, we have to replace the whole thing. Not allowed to do repairs. I know there's some extenuating circumstances given the purchase of the home, but you know, this roof definitely needs to be replaced. And what happens basically over time is, and no matter what kind of shingles you get, this is going to happen to any type of shingle over time. The higher quality ones, it'll take a shorter period of time, but basically over time these granules get depleted on the shingle, and that's basically what protects it from the sun. So as these granules become depleted, basically, as you can see right here, and I think you can see it in this video, but you can see where it's shiny. That's the actual fiberglass right here. You can see it shining through, meaning that there's virtually no more granules on these shingles. They get very brittle. They lose their adhesion. And then what happens, once they've lost their adhesion and they get brittle, the wind will hit them like it does right here. And basically they just pull up like that and they just rip, they tear, because they no longer, and if I did that again, it'd probably tear. I don't want to mess around with it too much, but that's basically the way a roof ages. The granules get depleted over time, they dry out, they lose their adhesion, and basically when the wind hits them, if it's strong enough, they get torn off, just like you can see what has happened here throughout the roof. And there's some ridge cap shingles missing here. Now, we can replace these missing shingles. Obviously, I would want to double check with my manager just to make sure, given the extent of damage, we would not repair a roof that had this much damage. But again, I know that there's some extenuating circumstances. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. But we can replace all the damaged shingles. Keep in mind that when we put new shingles up here, they're going to be the same color. However, they're going to stand out because they haven't been out here in the sun. I would bet these shingles are probably over 20 years old. Again, you can see right here, the shiny part, that's just the fiberglass that's put into shingles, showing like that. But these shingles have definitely need to be replaced. And you know, an indicator of when a roof needs to get replaced is when the wind can blow these shingles and tear them like this. And you have all these exposed nail heads. There's another section of exposed cap, as well as shingles over here. Again, you know, on a normal roof we can replace those. However, and we'll address that down the road. The other thing is I've walked this entire roof, and there are sections of soft plywood, right here being one of them in this valley. It's kind of hard to see, but basically there's some give right there. It's not unusual on these low slope roofs to see leaks in the valley, also where the flat roof ties in. And usually an indication of damaged decking is it's when it's soft like that. And after walking this roof, there's, you know, more than a few spots like that. The skylights probably as old as the roof. Again, we could replace them. If we were to do a re-roof, obviously we would replace them with new skylights. The repair would be to re-flash them. Again, given the age of the roof, we wouldn't be able to warranty anything. But you can kind of see the condensation coming up through the glass, which means obviously that there's some type of moisture trapped in the skylight. Could be leaking on the actual glass part. But these are the two right here that are leaking. The other issue is these off-ridge vents. They're called off-ridge vents because they're supposed to be off the ridge. This is the ridge right here. This one should have been installed about down where my foot is, because what you got going on right now is you have ponding water on this ridge because the ridge vent was put right there on top of the ridge. So all this area right here, water is ponding, and that's what's causing the leak over here. You can see it, these shingles have all discolored, and this is the leak that you're seeing on the inside. You can see somebody try to repair it, but not really gonna do any good. And again, it looks like this off-ridge vent was replaced. However, they didn't really replace any of the shingles, and you're obviously having some issues. Again, we could reflash this, replace all the shingles, but we're getting into that area where there's so many missing shingles. I'm gonna go over this video with you. I appreciate you having us out. Again, you can see all this shiny, that's the fiberglass coming through these shingles and all these missing shingles as well. It's definitely over 25% of the roof, and if this was a claim, you definitely would be getting a new roof through the insurance company. All right, thank you very much. Bye-bye.